Every human being possesses both a higher and a lower self, a mind of spirit that has been growing for ages, and a mind of the body, which is but a creation of yesterday. The higher self is filled with divine ideas, promptings, and aspirations received from the supreme power. The lower self dismisses these as wild or unrealistic. The higher self believes in possibilities and powers far greater than what humans now experience. The lower self insists that we must live and suffer as those before us have done. The higher self longs for freedom from limitation, pain, and the burdens of the body. The lower self claims we are born to suffer and must accept it. The higher self seeks its own inner standard for right and wrong. The lower self insists on conforming to beliefs and prejudices handed down by others. "To thine own self be true" is often quoted, but to which self? The higher or the lower? Two minds within us. We possess, in a sense, two minds, the mind of the body and the mind of the spirit. Spirit is a force and a mystery. All we truly know is that it exists, constantly working, shaping, and producing visible and invisible results in the physical world. What we see of any object, a tree, an animal, a stone, a person, is only a partial expression of it. A vital force holds these forms together, grows the flower to maturity, and when it ceases to act, decay follows. This same unseen force builds up and transforms every living thing. This ever-present, ever-changing creative energy is what we call spirit. To perceive and reason through the understanding of this force is to awaken the spiritual mind. Awakening the spiritual mind. Through knowledge, we gain the ability to direct this force toward health, happiness, and inner peace. Because we are made of this same force, we are constantly attracting more of it to ourselves. With each increase comes greater awareness. In our early state, we let this power act blindly. This is the condition of the material mind. As we awaken, we begin to question, why is there so much pain, grief, and disappointment in life? Why do we seem born to suffer and decay? That questioning marks the first awakening of the spiritual mind, and such a sincere demand for truth must, in time, be answered. The material mind. The material mind is that part of you educated by the body. It is like a child who believes that a steamboat moves only because of its wheels, knowing nothing of the steam that powers it. Similarly, many believe physical repair alone ensures health, unaware that the true cause lies in the motive power, the mind. The material mind sees only from the physical standpoint. It sees the body as the totality of self and death as the end of existence. The spiritual mind, however, knows the body is only an instrument for the soul, and that death merely discards a worn-out tool. The material mind believes strength comes from muscles, persuasion from words, and that thought is intangible. The spiritual mind knows thought is as real as air or water. Every secret thought is a living force that influences others, no matter the distance. Spirit and matter. The spiritual mind understands that matter is only the outer expression of spirit, constantly shaped by it. Holding thoughts of health, vitality, and strength continually renews the body, bringing endless vigor and youthfulness. To the material mind, matter is everything. To the spiritual mind, matter is the smallest, crudest part of existence. The material mind mourns decay. The spiritual mind recognizes it as the transformation of form, not the end of life. The body's mind believes its physical senses are all there is. The spiritual mind knows there are higher senses beyond sight and hearing, more subtle and far-reaching. The error of the material mind. The material mind, also called the mortal, carnal, or lower mind, is that portion of your real self trained in error by the physical world. Just as a child raised among those who believe the earth is flat will adopt that belief, so too does one raised among material thinkers accept that the body is the whole self. Seeing only decay and death, the material mind assumes that is the end of life. From this error arises the pervasive sadness and hopelessness of humanity, leading many to seek reckless pleasure while the body lasts. Yet such pleasures fade quickly, bringing even greater misery. The vision of the spiritual mind. The spiritual mind, in contrast, teaches that pleasure and happiness are natural aims of existence, but they must be pursued in harmony with divine law. It reveals that every sense and desire has a right use, and when governed by higher understanding, our enjoyments and possessions bring lasting peace instead of pain. To awaken the spiritual mind is to gain clearer perception of the unseen forces within us and throughout the universe. Humanity has only glimpsed these powers, yet even this glimpse reveals that the true causes of sickness, sorrow, and disappointment have long been misunderstood. We have been like children believing the miller inside the windmill turns its arms, never realizing that the wind itself is the power behind the motion.